Hi and welcome back. In this video, we'll look at some examples of context-free grammars. So what we'll do first is let's take up a language, and I'm going to take languages very similar to the one that we've already seen, which was a to the power n, b to the power n. So the first language that I want to look at is something like a to the power n and then a c and then b to the power n. This is what uh, my language looks like, and n of course is greater than or equal to 0. And what would be the production rules for this? If you want, you could try and pause the video, come up with the rules. It should be pretty simple. So coming back, we look at the production rules. So I have the first rule would be S goes to ASB. This one is the same as the one for a to the power n, b to the power n. And the other production rule would be S goes to C. And that's it. We've got our two production rules which define the language above. And one thing I want to point out here is that these two can together be written as S goes to ASB or C. So this is another way we write our production rules. And looking at these production rules, all I have to do to get any string from the language right here is to apply the first rule n number of times and then apply the second rule at the end, and that would give me the language for any n that's given to me. And another similar language we look at is something like this. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the production rules, and let's try to come up with the language. So I have S can become ASB or A, let's say. So this is the production rules that I've written. Now we need to find out what language this corresponds to. So if you want, go ahead, pause the video, give it a try. So coming back, we want to look at what language this is. So let's take a few examples first. So let's say I have S first, and from here I can let me just mark this as my production rule. So this is my only production rule. What I'm doing below is I'm trying to produce strings using the production rules above. So from S I can get something like ASB, and then I can get let's say I do that rule again, I can get AASBB, and from here let's say I apply the second rule, I get AAABB. So this is the string that I've got, this one right here. And let's do this another time. So from S I get ASB, and again I perform the same rule, I get AASBB, and let's apply the same rule again. So I get AAASBBB, and from here if I use the second rule, then I get actually I should write this as like this. So from here I can get AAABBB. This is what I get at the end. So this is another string that I can generate from the production rules given. So what I can notice here is that the number of A's that I have in my language at the end is just one more than the number of B's. So the final language that I get is something like a to the power n plus 1, b to the power n for n greater than or equal to 0. So I can never have any string which has 0 A's, because when I start with S, I will have to apply, even if I apply the second rule directly, I would get A itself. So the smallest string that I'm going to get from these production rules is just A. or I can get something like AAB, which is the next string that I can get. The next string that I can get is this thing right here, the one that I got, and the one after that would be this thing. So these are some examples of context-free grammars. We'll look at more later, but I wanted to do this once, and we've done it both ways, which is taking a language and trying to come up with production rules for it, and taking the production rules and trying to figure out what the language is. Um, so in all the cases that we have seen here, we have just used a single non-terminal symbol. But once again, I want to remind you that that's not necessarily the case. I can have context-free grammars or production rules with more than one non-terminal symbol. But here we just needed one, so we used one. But we can have more, and we can also have more terminal symbols. We don't need to just stick to A's and B's. So these were some examples of context-free grammars. I'll see you next time.